This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. Hey, Carm here. Welcome, Remarkable Results Radio Podcast. Good to have you here. You know, we're going to be, Tracy and I, at the Institute Summit in St. Petersburg, Florida, Jan 31 through February 3rd, 2023. I hope to see you there. Hey, before we get into the episode, here's a thought from the aisle seat. Are your employees your biggest advocate and fan? There's so much traction inside our industry with shop owners. They're building great cultures and top teams. Traction. It is so refreshing to see the level of sophistication that has embraced our shop owners to accept the power of purpose and values that build a strong culture in their shops. Now, without it, you will never hire rock stars who become your biggest advocates and fans. Now, they are the ones who will advocate for you to their friends and family, share the positivity of your company to their community, and show up at work every day with a positive attitude. You know, rock stars who are advocates are valued members of a team. This can be done by giving them opportunities for growth and development, providing meaningful feedback on how they can improve, and recognize them when they do well. Now, we've got many episodes in the content library that build upon this theme of employee advocacy. And the 700th, as an example, AJ Neely and others talked about the strength of their team. I encourage you to listen to AJ. Also, a great tie-in to the building a quality team is the Academy episode on workplace motivation. It's Academy number, episode 260. You know, great business leaders know that their employee is the most valuable asset of their company. They are on the front lines. You need to know that you satisfy their basic needs and what their intrinsic motivation is. Keep them engaged, challenged, and have reachable goals, and they'll make a strong team player and take care of your customers. Know what makes them tick. We should always appreciate what an employee can do for your business. Advocates can help you figure out what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and when it needs to be done. Give them the resources that they need to be successful, offer growth opportunities, and provide ample feedback so they know how their work is impacting the company's success. Hey, thanks for listening. Enjoy the episode. With me, Tom Ham. Hi, Tom.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm wonderful, Tom. Automotive Management Network.com. And of course, is Shop Auto-centric. Tom, thanks so much for gracing our show most recently. You came on and you did an episode with us on managing remotely as you have your home in Florida. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it was fun.
I am excited today because I think this is a monumental thing that AutomotiveManagementNetwork.com has done. Stand by for this. Everybody sit down. A labor rate tracker. I mean, I'm telling you, when you told me about it, and then I went in and I looked, I was fascinated by seeing what the labor rates in certain markets are. And sometimes, you know, we just don't go to friends and say, hey, Charlie, what's your labor rate? And now you know exactly it's Charlie in this place and he's telling you, hopefully it's the truth. If not, you could call and find out. But wouldn't it be neat to just go online and look inside of your marketplace, your neighborhood, and see what people are charging? It's a fascinating idea. It's way overdue. Thank you for doing this.
Well, good. I'm glad you like it.
Accomplish more by starting now. That's the motto of Repair Shop of Tomorrow, a Napa Auto Care exclusively endorsed vendor. RSOT will look at productivity, efficiencies, effective labor rate, average hours per car, labor profit percent, measure and manage labor, and how you can create net profit. Interested in Repair Shop of Tomorrow? 440-545-1230 is the number for a free 20-minute no-obligation consultation, or contact your servicing Napa Auto Parts store. How'd you come up with this? I mean, what happened? Did somebody motivate you?
You know, we're always kind of brainstorming, what do people want to know? What piece of information do they want to help run their shops? And tracking labor rates, and there's some other information we're probably going to unveil further down the road, but we thought we'd start with this and just get the labor rates going and see if we can get that piece of information out there. And people like to know that. I've always wanted to know, and I think a lot of shop owners do too. It's just one more piece of information. Information's power, as we say, and so on and so forth. So be able to see what's going on. It's kind of fun.
So why does the industry need something like this?
Again, you're in the dark. I mean, you can go on Gas Buddy and find out what gas prices are at every gas station in America, in North America. And labor rates, you really have no idea. There's a lot of ifs, ands, buts, and so on and so forth. But still, to get a general idea of what the rates are, am I way too high? Am I way too low? Am I about in the middle? Where am I? Where's the industry going? We can look at different places in the country that tend to lead, just kind of find out what's going on and then use that as one factor. I mean, that shouldn't be your primary factor, but you start with figuring your cost to determine your rate. And then when you get all done, you figure out what your rate is, you can kind of compare it and say, okay, well, am I coming up about where I should be or not? And if not, why not? And it's just one more piece to the puzzle that I think helps you make an intelligent decision on where you should be.
My thinking goes like this. What's his labor rate? Okay, it's 170, and I want to get some business for him, so I'm going to be 155. And it's the wrong strategy on how to set a labor rate in a company. And I know you know that. And it's great to have. I so believe in having this information, but be careful, in my opinion, what you do with it. And you may want to find out that you could be the lowest possible person in your marketplace, and that doesn't help you make any money. And if you raised your labor rate, I mean, just think where your profits could possibly go to help you invest in the things you need to grow a great business. In my thinking here, and I just so believe that this is a great service, but if you will, buyer beware. My website, remarkableresults.biz, just go to the search bar and type in labor and just look at some of the great discussions we've had. And one great one is building your labor rate from the ground up, really understanding the numbers. So if you do your numbers and then you still look at the labor rate tracker on Automotive Management Network, now you've got the power of market survey and the power of a finance number in your hand, and you can decide where to go.
It just gives you one more point of reference. I mean, theoretically, if you're going to come up with a number the way that you described in the episode, is you're going to go on here and you're going to find out, well, that's about where it is. Now, if it's way, way, way different, then it's kind of like, well, let's go back. Did I mess something up with the equation? What's going on here? And this isn't exactly a scientific thing where we go into people's computers and find out what their rate are. I mean, this is a people voluntarily telling us what their labor rate is. And there's thousands of shops. And, eventually I'm sure we'll have thousands now. At this point, we already have hundreds in just a couple of weeks. That's kind of fun. Like so many things, it just gives you another point of reference to make you a little more confident in your decisions on how you do things.
It's for your members. Am I right, Tom?
Yeah. To see all the results and so on, you have to be a member of the website, but the membership is free. There's over 15,000 members. Membership is free, and we don't sell or share your information with anyone. When you sign up on our site, the only, quote, additional contact you're going to get is stuff that comes from us directly. We're not going to give that to somebody up the road, so you're going to get a bunch of garbage email, et cetera. You just hear from us. So, and it remains private. So you can, again, it's free. We have a higher level premium pay membership that gets you further into the website for some more resources and so on. The labor rate tracker is not on the pay side. It's on the free side. So once you're a free member, you can get in and you can spend as much time as you want in there just playing around. And if you're kind of a statistics guy like myself, numbers guy, it's kind of fun to go in there and just analyze things and play with them and look. And it's just kind of like a scavenger hunt trying to find cool things.
You're so right. You're going to get lost in the survey section. Trust me, you are going to get lost. Okay, I am a member and I want to publish my labor rate. I want to give you that information so that it helps the marketplace. I can't see doing this for the industry so that we can lower our labor rates. I think you're doing this for the industry to have people realize how low they may be or where they could possibly go, because there's some great independent shops that are right up there and they're priced based on what they know they give their customer. It's a value prop. Their labor rate is based on their value prop. So if I just joined, even if I'm a free member, and I go to the labor rate tracking section, what do I have to key in?
You can get directly to it by going to laborratetracker.com. Obviously, you can go to our website too, but you can go laborratetracker.com. We'll take you straight there. And then once you get there and you scroll down just a little bit, there's a button that says post your shop rate. All it's going to ask for the name of your shop, which we do not publish. It's going to ask for your city, not your address, because we're not going to publish addresses either. And our map, as you drill down to the map only drills down to the city. If you're in Chicago, it's just going to show a whole bunch of dots on Chicago. They're not going to be spread out where they exactly are in Chicago. It'll just be in Chicago. In your case, in Buffalo, it'll just be shops in Buffalo. You're not really going to be able to tell who these shops are other than where they are. So the name of the shop, and we do that so we can verify it. We've got some ways to just verify and make sure that this is legitimate. And the city, the state, and then we ask for the type of shop, and we have all different types in there. Most are independent, but we have options in there if you're a collision shop. As this expands, we'll probably get more of some of the other type of shops, but it could be a motorcycle shop, whatever. Eventually, as people find this, you'll start to see some of those other areas fill in. Car dealer, that type of thing. So you get an idea. We're going to ask you that, or you ask you what kind of vehicles you service. Is it like, are you domestic only? Are you all makes? Are you European only? And we even have options in there for like heavy duty trucks, power sports, marine, that kind of stuff. Then you put your rate in, and by rate, somebody says, well, I've got different rates. I've got different, and we understand all that. But what's the most common rate? If we took out 10 of your ROs, what's the most common rate that's on the RO? And you got different rates. We know that. But so take the most common one and just put that in there. What people often refer to as their door rate or whatever. And that's it. And you just hit submit. And then when you're done, you can go up to the top and you can click on the labor rate tracker, which is right in the middle top of the page. This is the link for that. And that brings up the map. The way this, and we're refining the software as we go. But right now, when you bring up the map, the software only allows us the map to display like 40 shops. So you can't drill down really from the whole country page. What you want to do is on top of the map is a filter. And what you want to do is go to the states filter and click on the state you're looking for and drill down in that state. Then you'll be able to go through the whole state and see all the different rates. So you really want to use the state. And you can also, if you want to just see European shops, like if I click on, we just go to European shops. Well, there's 21 European shops that have reported a rate. Altogether, there's 215 shops. But so you got European shops from coast to coast. And you can also narrow it down by rate. So if you want to put in a minimum rate and a maximum rate, it'll show you where the shops are that are just within that range. So we've played with the numbers a little bit so far, and have some general ideas and just kind of seeing what's going on and seeing the minimum, maximum, and what seems to be the most typical, and which areas of the country have the higher rates and lower rates, and so on and so forth.
Hey, Carm here, just to let you know that Napa Auto Care was top rated in a national survey by consumers of car repair in the chains and independent repair shops category. Ratings were based on courtesy, timeliness, quality, price of repair, and percent of times the problem was fixed on the first visit. Napa Auto Care is the only banner program to make these ratings. Consumers are familiar with the Napa Auto Care brand, and you can benefit. Napa Auto Care has the largest network of independent professional shops in North America, with over 17,000 locations. Your independent repair facility can join this network and be supported through Napa's national marketing through the already successful Know-How for All campaign, which promotes auto care specific offerings. You also get support to promote your local repair facility with targeted media in local markets and in proven channels. You can also utilize a full calendar year of promotions with Napa Auto Care sales driver promotions that are 100% fully funded by Napa. And this includes free email marketing, digital and print point-of-sale materials. Also connect a national presence by co-branding your locally known brand with the nationally recognized Napa brand. Also partner with Napa Smart Sign to educate customers with engaging video that tell the why behind the needed repair or service. You can access editable digital menu boards, template builder tools, social media feeds, and integrations with other auto care program elements. Also offer a credit solution to customers with Napa Easy Pay consumer financing. Stay top of mind with your business name embossed on the credit card. Also have an online presence when consumers search for a local repair facility on Napa Online, which generates millions of views per month at no additional cost. Hey, if you're interested in partnering with Napa Auto Care and capitalizing on the Napa Know-How for All national marketing campaign, contact your salesperson or servicing Napa Auto Parts store Okay, so you just launched this, and I can only imagine that within the next few months, there's going to be thousands of these bits of information out there for us to have.
We hope so.
One of the things that you had mentioned was you put in your city. You don't put in your zip code, you put in your city?
Just your city.
Just your city.
We're not even going to narrow it down to a zip code. So, a lot of cities have multiple zip codes. We're not going to narrow it that far. But what we're trying to do is get some privacy here a little bit. So, we don't want people to go in here and start finding out exactly what the rates are at specific shops.
So if I'm from Orchard Park, New York, which happens to be a suburb of Buffalo, and I type in Orchard Park, are you going to know that that's kind of, if you will, a suburb of Buffalo?
Yes. There's going to be a drop down when you put in Orchard Park, and it's basically going to list everything that has the name Orchard in it. And you're going to be able to pick out Orchard Park from there and pick on that. Or you can also, if you want to do it, you can also just click on, there's a identifier that says use my location. It knows where your computer is, your ISP, et cetera, and it'll just use that too.
Got it. Okay, perfect. I understand. That helps, I think, really refine. Have you seen any highs and lows that are really interesting to you since you've started?
I guess the most surprising thing that I found so far is you'd probably never guess which state has at least some of the lowest rates. Now, I haven't done an in-depth study of all the different answers, but the state that seems to have a lot of low rates kind of surprised me.
You want me to guess?
Sure. That's a clue right there. Why am I asking you to guess?
It's not New York, is it?
Yes, it is.
Wait a minute. Because it's coming from the city of New York, I bet.
Coming from all over. Most of them are Western New York, so on and so forth. And matter of fact, I think the lowest rate we found in the country was in New York. It's about $84. And I noticed that northern Pennsylvania, too, is some of the lowest rates in the country, which kind of surprised me. The highest rates, as you would expect, are in the Bay Area. But that was surprising. But you just wander around the country, and again, it's kind of fun. Just go state by state, see what their rates are, and just get an idea. I find it fun if you're a numbers guy.
When somebody clicks on the enter their labor rate and it's the lowest in the market, you should flash a sign that says, warning, you've just entered the lowest rate in your market.
Well, you can do the highest one too, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we'll let people figure that out for themselves.
Oh my, yeah.
As we get further down the road, we'll maybe get a little more sophisticated. We'll maybe have things like state averages or regional averages for the Southeast or Northeast, that kind of thing. As we gather some more data, and we take in suggestions, because I'm getting suggestions like you mentioned there, and I'm keeping a list of all these great ideas, what we might want to do. And it'll be kind of by user demand is how we do everything in Automotive Management Network. Things are developed by request. So we get a lot of requests to do it a certain way. We'll go for it. We'll do it.
I think that first 3 digits of the zip code may be a determining factor to regionalize the labor rates. Instead of entering the entire zip code, which would keep it more open, you just say, please enter your first 3.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And those first 3 would give you regionality.
In the first 2 weeks, I think we've probably made over a dozen refinements or changes already in how the whole thing works, because it's, as with anything internet, we come up with a concept and test it, and then you actually put it out there and you start to work it and you find out, well, this doesn't work. You need to. The whole thing, it does work good. It works smoothly. It works great. I think there's some things that we could do to enhance it and make it even cooler. I'm actually, right out of the box, we're pretty happy with how well it works, especially once you learn that the best thing to do is go to a particular state and look at the numbers from that state.
Yeah, I see this as a huge benefit to the industry, what you're doing. Again, it's not to set labor rates. It's just to realize where your potential could possibly be and why you're struggling and you're not making any money. Even if you don't go publish, but you just want to learn, well, then go learn where you can go.
It's one more number. We could, and I'm just throwing this out, we could do how much is your rent per square foot? That's the kind of thing. And you'd see different numbers from different parts of the country. And then you could see, am I paying too much in rent, too low on rent, so on and so forth. There's lots of things you could use this for, and this is just one of those numbers like that it just helps in management.
With this as a huge launch, if you will, not a departure, but a departure in the strategies that you've been doing at Automotive Management Network, you could go, and again, stop me because my mind, I'm an ideas guy. You're playing salary plus Do you flat rate? I mean, you probably have those surveys already, but not regionality like you're doing. And it's almost like taking some of your greatest surveys and getting it so narrowed that you're now giving me not this big benefit of 1,000 shops, but now you're giving me, tens of thousands shops that I can literally take my mouse almost and drill in and find out in my marketplace, am I competing with more flat rate shops or not?
Sure. And you could ask shops, what are you paying if you're a flat rate shop? What are you paying per hour? You could ask that kind of question. Are you paying flat rate? Are you paying just straight hourly? And if you are, how much are you paying per hour? And on we could go. I mean, there's almost an endless list of numbers that you could go with. We just decided to kick this one off first because I know this is off. People sit around and just chat and so on. This is one that's often discussed. And there's some others too. We'll take suggestions, and we want to kind of get this really working well. And once we do, we'll have kind of a template that we can apply to other ones and plug them in rather easily instead of going from scratch here.
I find this fascinating because I think we need a lot of help in determining what moves we make in our business next and trying to retain and hire really good people. We sometimes don't know if we're not a member of a networking group, if we're not in a coaching organization. We don't necessarily know, are people in my market paying great benefits, and what kind of benefits are they paying? And it really allows me to see my labor rate's kind of low. I'm not meeting, if you will, the human resource demand that's going on over here. And it's like I could have had a V8 moment. I think it's fabulous where you can go with this thing. Promise me you'll come back. And I know you're a great contributor of the show. When you hit that 1,000 shop mark, let's come back. And I know it won't take you long to do that. I mean, you're already got a couple hundred in 2 weeks. So it's probably going to be by the end of the year, you'll have 1,000. And we should just talk about what you're seeing and then encourage more people to get on it and contribute their labor rate and join the Automotive Management Network.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'd love to have people participate in there. All the more data we get, the better. It's, again, fun to see the different regions. The West Coast, you hear rumors on how high the prices are on the West Coast. And we're starting to get some data that says, yeah, they are actually that high.
Yeah. What a costly state to do business in out there in, the great state of California.
Oh, wait till they go to the 32-hour week. We're just getting warmed up.
Well, anyway, this is great. Thank you for coming on and sharing, as always, that you do. And I think this is going to be one hell of a great service. Any final word?
No, just get on there and help us get it going. Submit the rate from your shop. If you're a MSO, please do the rate for each one of your shops. Share it around. I mean, with your buddies on whatever network or Facebook or group you happen to be in. Share it with all the people. Tell them, here's this resource. Please participate and take a look around. And let's just... I think it spreads that way a little bit. We'll get a lot of participation. More participation we get, I think probably the better, more useful the results will be.
So laborratetracker.com. And if I am a member of the Automotive Management Network.com, is it going to know that when I get there?
You have to log in. You may have it, how you have a lot of sites that you already have an automatic login. It's saving your passwords, et cetera. But you're going to have to log in to participate and see all the results. And you're going to have to, if you're not a member, you're going to have to join. If you got an old membership, there's a submit password thing if you can't find it. If you're a new member, again, we're not going to garbage up with a lot of stuff.
I love it. LaborRateTracker.com from the Automotive Management Network.com. Tom Ham, thanks, man.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.